Hey yo, think about how petty, how pathetic, and how sad these Masons must be, man. These demonic, these these beings, bro. Because how can we even call? How can we? How can? What are we to call these tears, man? That's exactly what they are. They're tears, man. These soulless individuals, man. Like, think about how petty and pathetic and loserish somebody can be, man. To have everything in this world. This is how you know, man. It's all about hate, jealousy. It's all about jealousy. Jealousy, man. Remember the Chappelle show? The hater club, hater anonymous or something? That shit was hilarious, right? It really helped me to shed some light into how these beings are. It was comedy when we first saw that. You know what I mean? And yeah, haters and the way, the Chappelle, that shit was hilarious, the Chappelle show. How they was just hating on everybody and all that, Um, it really shed some light because that's really what we're dealing with here, man. There's a bunch of hating ass, jealous ass, um, little mans out here, man. Little, just clones, man. Just like we could never be like that. You know what I mean? This is why it's so odd. This is why it's so weird to us to be in this matrix. Surrounded by these like-minded individuals, these hive-minded individuals. We find it really strange once we awaken to this. You know what I mean? Once the harassment goes from covert to overt, and you see it clearly, you say it's so you don't even have to. It's like something goes off in your mind, a switch, and you see it clearly for what it always been. You've been surrounded by these dumbasses since you can have recollection of memory. You know what I mean? Always these motherfuckers, man. These small minds. Always get motherfuckers around you. Always isolating you. Always playing these mind games. Always doing this hazing, always running in groups, you know what I mean? Always sucking up to a certain individual. It's just like the dynamics of these fucking, relationships that people are subjected to just a secret language, you know what I mean? That these secret societies got going on, and it's all over the world. It's all over society, and you have the matrix, you know what I mean? Like these are the gatekeepers. The moment you start to express some kind of spontaneity or uniqueness, here come the gatekeepers, you know what I mean, to bring you back to frequency, to low level free. Like, this shit is what it is. This is exactly like that. And the initial point of this, damn, it always happens to me, forget. um Point is, like we just been around these motherfuckers, man. We've been around these, and we've always thought, like, we always thought that everybody's the same, and that more or less we all operate from the same moral compass, and the motherfuckers that are really lost in evil would eventually inevitably come around and get it, that doing bad is not good, etc. Right? But it's not the case, man. And once you awaken to the truth that these bastards are truly evil, and even the ones that are not, fully conscious of their evil, they're evil as hell regardless because of ignorance. Somebody could be so dumb, and their fear, if you're that fearful of these demons, of these masons, of this matrix, if you're that fearful, you're evil. Knowing unknowingly, you're evil, man, because you are subject to to be easily manipulated more so than a person who is not gonna succumb to evil that easily. A real person, that's always gonna go within, regardless of what the world says. And so when you got the majority of these individuals, we know we're awakened to the truth of the clones, man. This is how they were able to repopulate the earth so fast. It was through them incubators. They was cabbage patching these bitches, and we know it now, man. We see them. We see the difference. You know what I mean? You can be so dumb that you're evil. You know? Like most of these clones. All they want to do is talk about these sports. The shit that they don't want it to. You're really in a simulation with these motherfuckers. You're really in this, man. We see it. I'm out here exposing them. Exposing the demons who are cloning them. To try to awaken their programming. To try to awaken these clones, man. Remember that movie, they cloned Tyrone? They cloned his ass. He didn't even know it. He just woke up. They transferred his consciousness into another vessel. And now once your consciousness was transferred, the new vessel is more easily able to be manipulated. You know what I mean? Every time they clone you. You know what I mean? You're more susceptible to manipulation. Like, this is just common knowledge, you know what I mean? To individuals in the known. The dirty, the Masons, you know what I mean? They have to do all that stuff, man, to acquire these secrets, man. They just have to become some kind of loser in this world. Just a evil loser, you know what I mean? Just to think he's a man and become part of this organization that is worldwide, because that's why everybody joins, because it's like, yo, you can't beat them, join them, right? But it's like, you guys gotta understand, there's losers and clones and everybody who's self-preservating and doing the uttermost to self-preservate because you fearful as hell and you go along to get along. It's not gonna work out in the long run for you. We're not going to be in this forever. We're not going to be in this world forever. You know what I mean? And this goes on. You can't be that dumb, man. This is why it's so frustrating dealing with these tears, these clones, these organic portals, these soulless beings out here in this matrix, because they don't care to know. They don't want to know. They all got the same answers to you, to this, to you trying to, even just your frequency, your presence bothers them. It triggers their dumbass system. They don't want to know. They're the gatekeepers, man. A lot of them know, man, that this is what they have to do. This is why they get paid. This is pathetic. This is a really pathetic ass situation we're dealing with here. But this is the majority, man. The Bible says, you know what I mean? This is y'all. You know, once you sell out, you think that that's going to bring you relief. It probably does, momentary relief. And y'all got more materials than us TIs. But you're someone's bitch, man. You're going to be more so as... You're just... I'm left without words, because it's like, no matter what the situation is, for a real person, and it gets really crazy for us, you know, really gray, really dark out here for us, you know what I mean? And we get really angry at God. You know I do. And oftentimes I lash out to God, you know. with just questions, just obvious questions. Like, I don't even care. Is that bad to where I tell God, I don't even want to be in the midst of this? You know what I mean? Forget you and forget this demon. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to be at peace because it's so much. It's so much for one to endure. And so a lot of things don't make sense to us. It don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? For these demons to be getting away with it as far as they have. As far as what they're doing. And I lash out at God all the time. Even though I believe in Jesus, I believe in God. But this is the point. Even with all this confusion and stress and darkness out here, and the clones, everybody's a dumbass surrounding us by the vast majority. Even with all this pressure and all this is traumatic. Even with all this, there's no help. No one can provide. It seems that even God, isn't really. But it is. But like I said, that's why I get tongue tied, because it's like I do believe in God. I already have my reasons to, and they're deep. I already have my reasons to. I just get so frustrated because of how things are playing out so slow. And there's a lot of frustration, confusion, and unfairness, and the constant harassment by the voices that these masons, you know what I'm saying, through these monitors and through all the technology that they have to wear down the saints, if you will. It becomes really crazy for us, you know what I mean, on a day to day. There's days that we're stronger in the word of God, and then there's days that we're lashing out against God. But overall, I already have, me personally, my reasons and my walk with the Lord, which is deep. And I have my very specific reasons, which I already stated in another video. That's another topic, as to why I believe wholeheartedly in Jesus, despite what we see going on. And the point is, with all that being said, it doesn't appeal to me, man. You know what I mean? It's not even a thought, really. You know what I mean? And even if the demons, the masons, brought the thought to me, so I could try to entertain it, such as, oh, you might as well just join. You know all the shit they be saying to you that you think is your own thinking. And so you've had the thought, like, man, whether you're gonna make it. You have your doubts as to, and they'll send the thoughts to you, with your own voice. Like, to just throw the towel, if you will. You know what I mean? Just to kind of give up. You know what I mean? And while all this chatterbox goes on in your mind, yourself, your real being is observing all this. You know what I mean? This is why we've done meditation. We've gone within. We are able to look from a certain perspective, you know what I mean, at the thoughts, while having the knowledge of the Word of God and in our walk with the Lord. We have a whole bunch of spiritual knowledge and suffering that has helped us in our journey, that when all this chatter is going on in your mind to try to cause confusion or to try to wear you down, by constant, chatter, and as you're perceiving all this, this is why we're different from the clones. Most people, using that term loosely, because these aren't even people. These are just empty vessels. We know about We know about the incubators. We know how they was cabbage patching these bitches, and they've been doing it, and they cloning them. And so, um, I'm losing track again. We're seeing it with our own eyes. You know what I mean? The just the difference between us. We're not all the same. And so the fact that all these beings are able to just sell out so easily, be hijacked, be convinced to the point of no return, really, because we don't even really see none of these people repenting or really breaking character or breaking this secret that they're in, because that's how much they got them. That's how much they fear. A lot of them are, they think they're good. They enjoy being a loser, gang stalker. And so it's all kinds of things going on. But when it comes to us, even with all the confusion, the frustration as to God's timeline, our frustration of so many things we're undergoing, I can never be Yah, man. Like I just said in another video, like I could, the devil offers you like it does to y'all Masons. You know what I'm saying? Gang stalkers and all this technology, so y'all could gang stalk and y'all could feel like y'all got a purpose and be powerful. Because this is how much of a loser you are. That somebody has to give you a purpose. And so you feel powerful. You want to be in the so-called winning team, right? And I think about it when these voices come, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I could never, man. Because the demon comes to you in different forms, you know what I mean? You don't, even without him coming to you, just the knowledge that you have, the understanding that you have of you know that the options are there for you to sell out. The demon doesn't necessarily come to a lot of people the way he directly comes to a lot of sellouts, to a lot of these clones where they get approached directly. You know what I mean? Just the fact that the knowledge of evil is out there, and that evil, you can benefit from being in this secret club, if you were there, or if you sell your morals, or if you are willing to, we understand what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are willing to compromise yourself in many forms, through the workplace or through certain narcissistic relationships, and you play ball, the demons that are all around you, they want to see if you're going to play ball. They've been seeing that us TIs, even from day one, we're just not, this is why we're excluded. All right, we were more accepted when we were of the world, when we were younger, when we were teenagers, and we were out there acting like the clones. We saw a little more acceptance. We were cool. We at least we thought we were cool. To them, we might have been a little bit cool, even though we were still being excluded in many forms, on the low key, and harassed. You know what I mean? But we were more accepted. You get what I'm saying? So, but now, since we've been awakening and exposing, the harassment has just completely gone overt. We know what it is now. They know what it is. So, even with the options being there for us, like they are for everybody, it sucks so bad to be in this situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I rather, like I could never be y'all, man. I'd rather continue to drag myself through the mud, whatever continues to come my way, than to soften this walk in this world by selling out, you know what I mean? By accepting these gifts from the demon, from these masons, from the ultimate demon who's Satan. Like he came to Jesus and offered him everything. The options are there for everybody. The knowledge is there, you know what I mean, for you to compromise and to gradually be a loser and part of that club to where they'll allow you to hold a steady job. They'll allow you to just have regular relationships now, more or less, right? Even with that understanding, and we've had that understanding for a while undergoing hell, right? And this is what pisses these demons off, that we haven't turned bitter. We um as I said, we rather continue to be dragged through the mud with no resources and in the situation we're in than to be one of y'all, man. Like y'all gay, man. Like y'all just evil. Y'all be keeping secrets, man. I can never be like. How can y'all even live, man? And how can you even think you cool? Or I understand since all of y'all doing it, and it gives it a certain sense that it's normal because they're all doing it. But if I was in that, like I can never just be like yo, you understand how weird it is for us, man? Like a real person with empathy, with actual reasoning all the time, like yo, you just serving a demon, man. Like you, it's not like you're part of a big club that is actually like real men and women, you know what I mean, who are actually really making changes in the world, like y'all claim y'all do and do good, and are real followers of Jesus, and something that is really that everybody can tell is changing the world. So how can y'all, which is the vast majority of you so-called good citizens and stuff, like good people of society, um how can y'all just walk around and act normal like this? This is ridiculous. Like this is nars like this is some double personality, double loser life type of shit, man. Like y'all, like how can you even do that? Like if like that's why real people, like bro, a real person, like because you've seen real people that were in the program that just got out of the program and started exposing it. A real person, after a while, it's like, yo, this is some loser shit. A real person would just be like, man, I don't care what the consequences of would be to expose these bitches and get out of this loser club. I'm gonna do it because they're losers and they're evil and they're against God. They're against Jesus. Everything that they stand for, they run in packs. This is the worldwide cult. Like a real person, this is how a person starts thinking. This is how a person thinks. And we see it from the outside, and I'm just like, this is why the demon don't approach us, because it's just like even if we can have those things that y'all have, like we wouldn't be, how can y'all go to sleep at night? That's why you bitches can't even sleep with the lights off. Or look at yourself in the mirror for too long, bitch. Like you just be terrified of the evil you doing. Like I could never, like how can, like even if I was to have those things, like I said, the only way I could accept money, and I want money, who doesn't? It would have to be just from a genuine way. It has to come from the Lord. It has to come from God. Like, whether it's a little bit or a lot. How can you, bitch? How can you have money like that and thinking you good and go to sleep at night knowing like you doing some weird shit, like you doing some peeping Tom shit, like you have two lives, man. Like you're a family man, like you're a family woman. Like this is the oddest shit for us real humans, man, to analyze. And this is why no matter how much in the shithole we are, it doesn't it doesn't occur to us to sell out because it's like this is how a real person looks like materials aren't everything. Like we're not going to be in this world forever. This is bigger than this world. You bitches understand this? Like this is bigger than just this world. If life was so serious and it was just this world, then life would go on forever just in this physical sense, like right here. And whether you reincarnate back into this bitch or not, you understand how it goes on. If you do, if you're a believer of reincarnate, then it goes on. So these dumbass decisions you're making to be a sellout for so-called self-preservation in the long run, even in this life, you're not benefiting much, man. Like you think you're in the winning team, loser, Masons, sellouts, and everybody that's just joining the world club of these demons. It's not all about the money, man. Who you think is gonna win? Like for real, like this is just logic. You look like who do y'all think is gonna win at the end of this? Like the bad guys? It doesn't even make any sense. Like the demons, after all the evil stuff they do, like y'all think they're gonna win. You know what I mean? And we know it in our hearts as TIs. You know? This is why even though everything we go through, it doesn't occur to us. It doesn't make sense for us to be on that side, like with you fags, like with you weirdos. Like even if I could have that money and be all up in there, you know, with the club members and all this, like y'all weird, man. Like what the fuck y'all talking about, man? Y'all be probably over there at the cookouts talking about how y'all be gang stalking. Like this shit is pathetic, man. This shit is weird. I can never be one of y'all. Like why would I, you know what I mean? Like y'all simple mind, like y'all stupid as hell, man. Like y'all simple minded, man. Like that. This is why we don't fit in. This is why we have never fit in, man. Because the shit y'all be talking about and the things that are important for y'all, demons and clones around this world, the majority is not like that for the chosen, for the people of God, for the empaths, whatever you want to call it, man. We can see the separation from the wheat and the tares. Y'all cold. This is why the world is the way it is. Because the vast majority are clones. Incubator beings. You know what I mean? They're just cabbage patching these bitches. Did we know it? Look at the world we live in. Is this even an argument? If the vast majority of people were actual empaths and real people, the world would not be this way. The world would be changing to that which is good. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's just like it's some weird shit, man. That's why we're out here all alone, man. We're out here all alone. That's why they entertain themselves making these movies in our faces. Body snatchers. All this shit in the Matrix, how they're cloning beings, actual beings, just getting cloned every day on a lunch break. And just walking around. Just replacing these bitches and putting them right back into your life. Just switching on you. And this is supposed to be just normal, just gaslighting the shit out of you. And then we sit here and question, this is, man, listen, it's real like that. And I could see them. I could see the programming in everybody. This is how I know this is between me and the demons, man. Y'all clones are just in the middle, you know, causing distraction and shit towards my awakening, towards my ultimate victory and awakening. You know what I mean? Like, but this is between us TIs and the demons. You know what I mean? This the spiritual warfare is between us. You know what I mean? Y'all clones is just in the midst, just causing chaos, destruction, and confusion. Because y'all just being cloned every day, just being created. Y'all don't even know it, man. Like, this is wild. This has nothing to even do with y'all, man. That's why Jesus saw this all. Like, Jesus saw exactly what we're seeing. Thus why he made such statements, which is why he made such statements as, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Jesus understood how this is not just ignorance, man. These are empty vessels walking around out here. These are clones. And so Jesus was like, man, these clones, he understood about the wheat and the tares. There's humans out here that just don't know what they're doing. For they know not what they're doing, he said. Because he understood the open secret, how they've been cloning them. He been said it. He spoke, the wheat and the tares. If you know, you know, man. Watch the movie The Island. That guy broke it down in that scene. This is an open secret, man. I'm trying to awaken you clones to what they're doing to y'all. They're cloning y'all and just having y'all forget. Why in that movie A Bug's Life? This is what it's all about. In that movie A Bug's Life, when the bug, watch that movie in that scene with the grasshoppers. This is what it is. They got the clones all controlled when the grasshopper, the one little ant escaped, and the grasshoppers told the big boss grasshopper, like, who cares? It's just one. It's just one that escaped. What's he gonna do about it? And then the boss responds. You guys go watch that part when he said, the boss responded, and he ended up explaining how if that one is able to awaken the rest, then they got problems now. You know what I mean? Because the majority of the clones, if the majority of the clones were to really just awaken against their controllers, their creators, you know what I mean? Just like God created his people, his chosen one, these demons, these rulers from this world were able to successfully create artificial life. Thus the clones, the clones, they created these incubators where they create this artificial life. The vast majority of these clones walking around. And so if these organic portals, if you will, were to awaken to what's being done to them, then the game is over, is what the grasshopper is saying. Because then they'll turn. All the biological robots will turn on them, on the Masons, on their creators. And this is what us TIs are trying to do. This is what Jesus was trying to do in his time. He was trying to spark the curiosity in the clones' minds, as to what's being taken place here. That's why Christ was like, you could do all these works. Even more marvelous things you'll be able to do if you awaken and all this shit, you know what I mean? And we're dealing with the same demons that Jesus was dealing with, the same Masons. And they're trying to silence that. They're trying to silence the voice of true reasoning, true reason, the voice of clarity, that Jesus was bringing. This is what we're saying, you know what I mean? Like, we're just stating the obvious for everybody, for the clones. Like, why are we being forced to go to work when there's plenty to go around? Let's start there, and then we just continue to break a whole bunch. We're just trying to break the matrix, just like Jesus was trying to do, and spark the curiosity in the clones' minds, in the clones, I don't know, software system or some shit, you know what I'm saying, to awaken them. This is why it's so hard. This is not just ignorance from these people, from these clones. This is not ignorance. This is what we always used to think. Oh well, not everybody's the same. We don't all think the same. And listen, if you're 80, 90 years old, like most of these clones are, and they still don't care at all, like most people that I know, to question their reality as to who they are, this and that, go deep, question the system, break the matrix and all that. That's not normal. That's just not normal. You know what I mean? But this is why we've been conditioned to always think that we're all the same. We're all God's people and all that. No, we're not all the same. Now we can see it. The open secret is out there. They've been cloning them. The wheat and the tares. We can see it fully now. And so, yeah, I just started rambling, man, because I forgot the initial point like I always do. But yeah, man. This is the weirdest thing. I forgot what I was saying.